The building codes, scope and limitations. A number of features are common to all of the international codes. Each code begins by stating its scope of application. The scope establishes the range of buildings, uses, construction, equipment, and systems to which the particular code applies. The international building, mechanical, fuel gas, and plumbing codes exclude from their scope those residential buildings regulated by the IRC. A purpose statement follows the scope and includes the intent to provide minimum standards to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public and the occupant or user of the space or building. Subsequent sections place limitations on the application of the code. For example, each code permits the continued legal use of existing buildings. A building does not need to be brought into compliance with the current codes, provided the building does not create hazards to the occupants or property and meets minimum acceptable standards for health and sanitation. In the case of an addition to an existing building, only the addition need comply with the current code, provided it does not cause an unsafe condition in the existing structure. Each international code also references other codes and standards for use under specific circumstances. For example, the IRC references the International Building Code, or IBC, for an engineered design of structural elements beyond the scope of the IRC. Finally, the appendices of each code are not in effect unless they are specifically adopted by the authority having jurisdiction. International Building Code, or IBC. The provisions of the IBC apply to the construction, alteration, maintenance, use, and occupancy of all buildings and structures except detached one- and two-family dwellings and townhouses and their accessory structures, which are covered by the IRC. In addition to structural components and systems, the IBC provides for a safe means of egress, accessibility for persons with disabilities, fire resistance, fire protection systems, weather resistance, finishes, and interior environments. These regulations are typically related to the use and occupancy of the building. That is, the IBC assesses relative risks or hazards based on the functions within the building and controls design accordingly. As a result, provisions regulating the building's size, means of egress, fire-resistive elements, and fire protection systems vary significantly among sports arenas, hospitals, schools, apartments, and office buildings. International Mechanical Code, or IMC. The provisions of the IMC generally apply to the installation, alteration, use, and maintenance of permanent mechanical systems utilized for comfort heating, cooling, and ventilation, and other mechanical processes within buildings. International Fuel Gas Code, or IFGC. The IFGC regulates the installation of natural gas and liquefied petroleum, or LP gas piping systems, fuel gas appliances, gaseous hydrogen systems, and related accessories. Coverage includes pipe sizing and other design considerations, approved materials, installation, testing, inspection, operation, and maintenance. The equipment installation requirements include combustion and ventilation air, approved venting, and connection to the fuel gas piping system. International Plumbing Code, or IPC. The provisions of the IPC generally apply to the installation, alteration, use, and maintenance of plumbing systems. The IPC includes the material and installation requirements for water supply and distribution, plumbing fixtures, drain waste and vent, or DWV, piping and storm drainage systems. International Fire Code, or IFC. The IFC establishes regulations for the prevention of fire and explosion hazards arising from the storage and use of hazardous materials, and it controls other conditions that are hazardous to life, property, or public welfare. It also provides for the safety of firefighters during emergency operations. Storage, building use, and building maintenance provisions apply during the life of buildings. The IFC also contains design and construction provisions related to fire department access, fire protection water supply, and fire alarm and fire protection systems. International Property Maintenance Code, or IPMC. The IPMC provides for the regulation and safe use of existing structures in the interest of the social and economic welfare of the community. It establishes minimum maintenance standards for light, ventilation, space, heating, sanitation, protection from the elements, life safety, and safety from fires and other hazards. International Existing Building Code, or IEBC. The IEBC intends to provide flexibility and alternative approaches in the repair, alteration, addition to, relocation, and change of use of existing buildings, and still safeguard the public health, safety, and welfare. The alternatives offered to the applicant include prescriptive, work area, and performance compliance methods. International Energy Conservation Code, or IECC. The IECC regulates the design and construction of residential and commercial buildings for the effective use and conservation of energy. The IECC intends to provide flexibility in the methods of compliance with energy conservation requirements. International Green Construction Code, or IGCC. The IGCC intends to safeguard the environment, public health, safety, and general welfare through the establishment of requirements to reduce the negative impacts and increase the positive impacts of the built environment on the natural environment and building occupants. The IGCC works as an overlay code that is fully compatible with the other international codes and is to be used in conjunction with the other codes and standards adopted by the jurisdiction. International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, or ISPSC. The ISPSC is a comprehensive swimming pool code coordinated with the current requirements in the international codes and the Association of Pool and Spa Professionals, or APSP, standards. The ISPSC establishes minimum regulations for public and residential pools, spas, and hot tubs using prescriptive and performance-related provisions.